Hey, what's going on, guys? Clint Reen here. We are in my basement in my little disc golf corner. I have my net here and I have my tech disc. So we're going to be trying out some things today with our tech disc. Just going to be doing some standstills to start, and we might try to incorporate a little one step later. Just trying to see what kind of power we're generating after kind of our step 2 in the Road to 500 series, and what we can add to it here in part 3. So let's get into it. Alright, so we just got done doing our test run from what we learned in part 2 of this series, and we're going to take a look at the stats. So we are on the home page right now. Let's see, where's my mouse? We're going to go to throws, and then we're going to select the ones we just did. Alright, that's all the ones we just did. Create an analysis set. We did 7 throws. We'll rename this Road to 500 Part 3 1, as that's our kind of initial test. So average speed 56.7 miles per hour, topped out at around 59. Minimum was 54.4. That's pretty decent. I know I was throwing mid 60s outside last fall. I think it was probably in the 63 to 65 range. So this is pretty good for a standstill, I think. 1071 for RPM, minimum of 1029, max 1095, so not quite 1100 there. Matching to my spin, I feel like that's okay, maybe a little low. Wobble 2.9, okay, that's okay. Hyzer angle 32.7. That's pretty aggressive hyzer angle. I know I'm a hyzer thrower, hyzer flip usually, but I think mine was around 26, 27 before, so that's a little bit higher. It's something that we definitely need to work on. And the nose angle 3.8. That's pretty nose up too. So if we were out in the field, we'd be losing distance to the stall and fade effect. Launch angle we're not going to worry about. So let's do a second round, and we'll kind of fix some things that I noticed in that part 2, kind of some add-ons, and see how that test goes. All right, we just got reconnected to our disc, and we're going to be looking at some additional things that we can improve on our form. One of those being reaching back all the way. I noticed, especially in the video on the field, I was hardly even turning my shoulders because I was so focused on getting back to this point that I didn't want to move my shoulders at all, so I was just going all arm. I still need to reach back, so that's something I'm going to focus on, is making sure I get my shoulders turned all the way back, not just turned to here, so I get a little bit more of that length that I can slingshot the disc forward. Another thing is I was shifting my weight a lot from back to front. Part of that's due to standstill. I don't know if it will translate to the full run-up, but I was doing this a lot, and it was rotating my weight kind of this way. I'd like to see it braced into this front and rotating like my hips and my core around it, so I'm more like this. If my foot rotates a little bit more, but kind of more like that, instead of this kind of motion where it's side to side hip. I want to see more of a rotation there. Let's see what else. Nose angle and releasing kind of flat. I'm going to try to keep my arm up a little bit more and see if that helps, and try to really get that nose angle down in my hand, so when I'm coming through it's nice and flat. We'll see if that makes me do more hyzer too. That's usually what I do in the past, is the more nose down I get, the more hyzer it is too. So we'll take a look at that. And then the other thing would be adding this arm as kind of a propeller to start the motion, as opposed to just keeping it at the side. But that's something we're not going to worry about too much. But if I do incorporate it, that's an addition factor. So let's just jump right into it. All right, we just did part 2, so let's check the data set here. All right, throw set. Oh, gotta go throws first, gotta put them in one. So we're just gonna select all the ones we just did. All right. We did 12 throws, so a little bit more than the last one, but that is okay. Part 3, number 2. Okay, so I mean, right off the bat, speed increased quite a bit. I don't remember exactly what the other one was, but I feel like it was 56 maybe, and this is 59. So looking at the other throw set, so the first one, yeah, 56.68, and then we were at 59 this time. Hyzer angle was about the same. Spin rate went up 70 RPM, from 1071 to 1146, so that's good too. Nose angle was down also, another positive. Wobble was about the same. Launch angle was about the same, but gained about 3 miles per hour and 70 RPM, so I think that's pretty solid, just with reaching back a little bit more and a little bit more efficient rotation, I think. Otherwise, not too much different. I can actually look what my initial, so my average when I was throwing in that field or into a net outside in the fall was 61 miles per hour with 1194 spin. So we're creeping up on that already, and we're just doing standstills right now. They are pretty powerful standstills. Obviously, we're trying pretty hard, so that's promising. I'm liking where this is going. We're gonna maybe do another set. Might try to add that off arm a little bit more. And yeah, let's check out. Let's do one more set, so we have 2 of the new version, and kind of see if we can improve it even a little bit more. So this will be our part 3, or 500, part 3. Okay, so 59 again, 1135, I feel like that's pretty close. They were more consistent, so 58 to 60 was the range there, and 1098 to 1191, so that's pretty close range too. Nose was a little bit more up. I'm going to compare it to the other field set. So let's see. Yeah, same speed, same hyzer. Spin was down 11 RPM on average. Nose was a little bit more up, and wobble was slightly higher. So pretty similar results to that part 2 or the second one I did, second set. So yeah, I think we're gonna try to incorporate that off arm a little bit more, and we might actually try to do a one step to get a timing down with the reach back. So yeah, we're just gonna add it on. All right, so the next two things that we're gonna try to incorporate is we're gonna start kind of here, and we're trying to work on our timing and then our off arm shooting. So I want this foot to come here, kind of like in that final position, and I want this reach back happening at the same time. So kind of like this. So that's kind of what I want to get to, is a reach, then go. Reach, go. I guess we'll just try it with the disc and see how that goes. Alright, that feels pretty good. It's a little awkward. It kind of feels like, because I'm pausing, when I get here, it's kind of like a pause and then basically a standstill. So it feels a little bit weird. I'm going to try to incorporate this off arm too though, because I think that is the next step, at least for me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to do a couple of dry runs and then I'm going to start throwing again. So I guess I can kind of just start here. All right, we did quite a few throws on that one. We're gonna put them in a throw set. I know I was trying some different things in there, but the general idea was adding those two extra parts. So I'm just gonna add them all together. I know it's probably not the best data set to group together, but I know I had some good ones there at the end for sure. When I kind of incorporated all of it, I know I hit 61 on a couple of them. Yeah, 5-minute break, that's probably where it was. So yeah, those last two are both, or 4 out of the last 5, or no, 3 out of the last 4 were 60, well, almost 61, over 61, over 61, and this one was about 60. So that's when I think I was incorporating both those things. So it is increasing as we keep going. And 59, that's the same ballpark. 1140, same ballpark. Nose angle about the same. Hyzer might be a little lower than those other sets. We'll look at the throw sets again. Oh, this is part 2, 500, part 3, number 4. So yeah, speed's about the same. Hyzer's down a little bit. Spin's about the same overall. But I do know those last 4, when I was doing kind of everything, were up a little bit higher in that 60, 61 range. So I do think we're on the right path here, and just need to keep working it. I know I've thrown, I don't know, probably 60, 75 shots so far today, pretty rapidly. So my arm might be getting a little bit tired too as we keep going. So I think I'm going to shut it down for today. I think we got some good stuff that's happening right now. And I want to get back out to the field and try this again. Get that timing down. It always feels a lot different when you're actually outside versus throwing into a net where you're not aiming at anything. So I want to get outside for the next part, I know, and try to incorporate these other parts, like the full reach back, the turn, rotation of the hip, off arm engaging, and we'll start with standstill, but then we're going to work on the timing of that front foot hitting back, reach back at the same time, and then off arm. Trying to get that timing down, I think, is going to be a main part in Road to 500 Part 4. So make sure you come back for that, and yeah, hope to see you in the next one. See ya.